Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And tonight we're going to be talking about this woman who has come forward talking about this Kenneth Petty situation. And we're going to go over what she said a few days ago when this stuff first hit the net. Now, this stuff has been sent to me for a few days now, and I myself personally, I didn't know if it was valid or not. I'm like, did she show her face? Did she show proof that it was her? Did she show any evidence that would point to her being the actual person? And then as more people started to, get wind of the video, my DMs have been flooded. Armand Wiggins had even called me and he was like, have you heard about this Kenny Petty stuff? Yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, yes, my DMs are flooded with people who want me to talk about this situation. Now, if you heard this already, then you heard it already. We're going to hear it again on my channel. And I'm going to open up the phone lines to have for you guys to let me know what you feel about it. The only thing that I did find interesting about this whole situation is that once Armand Wiggins had went live, and Armand Wiggins, he covers Cardi T, he covers Nicki T, he covers, both. So he don't, even though he talks to Cardi and stuff like that, he don't hold back on covering both. But I found it very interesting that other bloggers that are Cardi B's BFFs ran and swarmed to cover this story, but it's very, very stale and dry and silent when it comes to all of this stuff that Cardi B has been doing. And then these be the people that y'all be saying is so real. And I'll be like, they're not being real with their audience. They like, that's real interesting. But anyways, we're going to get into it in this video. I just find certain stuff to be interesting, especially once our mom went live. Then, other people start going live about it. And I'm like, you don't see them going this fast when it comes to covering Cardi B stuff. I just be like, whew, it's real interesting in these YouTube streets. Okay. Anyways, so we're going to get into what this woman has said. She's come forward and she has come forward saying that, this stuff is really haunting her from the whole Kenneth Petty situation. It happened when she was young. She talks about how she was never in a relationship with him and that people tried to pay her off and X, Y, and Z. So we're going to get into all of that. I'm going to play it here for you guys to listen here. I do want you guys to click on and chime on and tell me what you think. While I'm playing it, if there are some of you on the backstage, I'll pause it here and there and I'll let you guys chime in and give your thoughts and tell me, what you think about what she said right there, what you think about what she said right there. And we're just going to get a live breakdown of the story. Somebody said Cardi B news is yawn. I mean, her news can be yawn, but I just find it interesting that people call certain bloggers real, but they real selective on what they post. When if you're supposed to be a blogger, you're supposed to be transparent with your audience and you're supposed to share the news, the tea from both sides. You're not supposed to create alliances. And to me, that's not real. That's real interesting. But anyways, so the StreamYard link is there. While I'm playing the video, I want you guys to come on and chime on, like I said, and let me know what you think as we're watching this video. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen and let's get into this topic. Okay. Whoo, child. Okay, so I'm gonna pause her right there. NY Neek, what are your thoughts so far?
Hi, Neek. How you doing? I just have a quick question. How did she get from the bus stop to his crib? How did that happen? I don't know. Do you know?
I don't know, but let's listen to some more.
That's what I knew him for. I knew him as a street drug dealer. Unfortunately, this day ended up really bad because he forced me into his home. He violated me. And granted, this was only 3 blocks away from my house. Got arrested. They took me to the hospital. I had to do a rape kit. And
Nicki Minaj fans are funny. Somebody in the comments, I feel like my eyelash is coming off. Somebody in the comments said, hold up. Y'all be cracking me up in the comments. Somebody said, this is a lie. Who calls a 15-year-old a bum?
A lot of 15-year-olds call people bums.
If you're not going to school, it don't matter if you're 15, 12, or 10. If you're not going to school, if you hanging out on the corner, you're a bum.
You a bum. Been a bum, your mother's a bum, and your father's a bum. You's a bum. Your whole family is full of bums. Yes. Yeah, that's... New Yorkers will call you a bum when you 3, you's a bum. Yes, that's correct.
They said, this a lie. Who call a 15-year-old a bum? Y'all is funny. Y'all is funny. All right.
Nee, can I just ask you one question?
Go ahead.
Let me just ask you one question. How did she get from the bus stop to his crib? That is a big part that's missing. He ain't drag you. And in New York in the morning when people was going to school, there's a lot of people outside. You couldn't have dashed in the bodega. You couldn't have said nothing to nobody to say, yo, I don't want to go with this dude. Like something is missing. And I want to say the bums is all the people who do not change their battery and they smoke detector. Y'all is getting on my nerves with that beeping. Please, it's $8. Get a battery. Them is the bums. Neek, have a good night, okay?
Well, I want you to stay on.
All right.
Prince, what are you feeling about it so far?
I feel like she right there, she done lied, said something because it didn't make sense from what she said, because she said that she never been in his house, but it doesn't really make sense how he was forced in his house. She said that she was forced and he violated her, so it doesn't make any sense how she said that she wasn't wasn't inside. Doesn't make any sense. How did you get from, oh, I wasn't, or you never been in his house, but he said that he forced you?
Somebody can be forced in somebody can be forced into somebody's house they never been in.
I don't know. It really doesn't add up. It doesn't add up.
Just because you never been there don't mean that you can't be forced inside.
I mean, true. But it makes me question.
I could be walking to the store right now and I could never be going to like my neighbor's house, but as I'm walking, somebody could force me inside. That doesn't discredit her. Now I can understand if you feel like it doesn't add up, but that point that you made, that don't make sense to me.
Sorry about that. I didn't.
Is there anything else that stuck out?
No, you're fine.
All right, well, I want you to stay on.
All right.
Sweet Candy.
My question is, how do you go from I'm at the bus stop, I'm going to school, I got my book bag, I'm headed to school, and then this man you call a bum walk up, so you feel nothing for him, but like that he's like disrespectful, drug dealer, whatever you feel. You said bum, so you feel a certain type of way about him. Broke, bum, could be everything negative. But you leave from that bus stop and end up in a position to where he could force you into his house. Now, unless the bus stop was informed.
I'm gonna pause you right there. Because if somebody, like, you could see somebody around your neighborhood and they could just be the neighborhood Joe Schmo, but after they violate you, they can be a bum. Like, they could be a bum in your eyes. Like, so you saying that, like, he probably was just a neighborhood guy at the time, but her reflecting back on it now, if he violated her and her looking at it now and saying, like, you know, you was never at school, I could see her looking at him and looking at the situation saying, you were a bum.
Okay. That's reflecting back, but that was her words reflecting back after the violation. But as she's speaking, she's talking about him in the present sense of,
we don't have context of her speaking about him before it happened.
Well, my thing is that, okay, so you knew him to be the neighborhood hood person standing on the corner, selling drugs, whatever, never going to school. Okay. And unless, my thing is, unless that bus stop was right there in front of his house, how did you leave from that bus stop with that bum or that street dude or that drug dealer, broke man, whatever, and end up in front of his door in order for him to have the ability to force you in his home? That don't make no sense.
You gotta realize that they were 15 and 16 years old. Like me growing up in my neighborhood, it was a bunch of hustling dudes outside that I went to school with that, you know, they're not necessarily, I don't look at them like a threat to my life. Like I see them in gangs and stuff like that, but these are people that I grew up around. And I've even like been around by their houses before. I don't think that she necessarily had to automatically assume that just because he's a hood booger on the corner that he's going to violate her in that way. Because I've grown up around a lot of hood boogers that I see on the corner, not going to school. We grew up in the same neighborhood, but they ain't never, violated me. I don't think that it's automatic.
My point is that if your intention was to go to that corner, to get on that bus, to go to school, right? Because that's what she said. I was going on my way to school. I never seen him going to school. He said he was going to school, but I never seen him going to the school. Okay. Mm-hmm. So how do you end up not getting on that bus and going to school and end up in another direction away from the school and closer to his house and not at your house, but where he live at? You see what I'm saying? That part of it, she kind of left that out. She left that part out. And I couldn't understand if you're going to tell the story, tell the full story. Because something happened that you didn't get on that bus or that you didn't stay at that bus stop.
Wait. Let's listen to some more where she talked further in depth. She talked about her background. She talked more in detail about the situation. So hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's listen to some more. I want you to stay on, but hold on, relax. Okay. Let's play some more, and then I'm gonna go to some more of you who would like to chime in. Y'all crazy. Y'all is crazy.
That is false. Kenny and I were both 16 at the time. We were never in a relationship. On state charges, and then he got out, and then federal charges were brought up on him. So she said that she could send her publicist, Joe, out to where I was living at the time. I have since moved multiple times since then, but that she can send Joe out, her publicist, Joe, out to meet with me and talk with me about the situation. After that phone call with Nikki, the only contact I had was from street goons. At this time, I still feel like I'm defending myself. I still feel like, people are calling me a liar. People are saying that I messed up this man's life, but it's my life who was messed up. It's my life who has been altered. It's my life. It was altered then when I was 16, having to leave the state of New York. It has been altered now, having to leave where I was living at.
All right. So that is the initial video that she had put up, and that is her initially talking about this situation. Now, after she had did this video, she had gave an exclusive to, and she went to talk in more detail about the situation. And she even was confronted while she was on her live by another woman. They went back and forth. They ended up revealing her name. Also, Kenneth Petty, his ex-friend, he had also came out days ago, before she even spoke out, he was talking about this situation as well, and he named her as Jennifer. They named her as Jennifer in the live also. They were going back and forth. It just was a big schmeal. Real entertainment.
Hey, Nick, what's going on?
Hey.
Can you see me clearly?
I can.
Awesome.
So
just a couple things I want to ask. So if Kenneth Petty did his time for the crime, right? Why would he need her to recant the story? He already served time. What are you throwing out? He served his time, right? Unless I'm missing something.
He has to register as a SO. So he has to register as an SO for the rest of his life. So if they're able to get her to recant the story, then maybe they'll throw out the whole SO registration. I mean, if it didn't happen, then why would he have to register as an SO? Also, that would validate, a certain status quo to be eliminated off of Nicki Minaj as well, because him being an SO, that brings down her brand as well. So if he could get vindicated in that, especially now that she's a mom and things like that, I can see how they would want her to recant.
Okay. Well, I mean, she got offered $20,000 to first she said she got offered $20,000 to shut up. Then she said she got offered $20,000 to recant her story. Which one is it? I personally think it's a certain group of women, not all women, Nick, not all women, but it's a certain group of women like Megan Thee Stallion and Nosy Hope Live that want to take black men down. That's all they focused on, is take your black man down, Nick. And I think they got this lady to do it too. I'm not saying they part of the situation or nothing like that. But you see these type of things. Like that man did his time. He going on with his life. You mean to tell me the U.S. Marshals is going to find this chick to tell her that somebody looking for him? Why they ain't getting the killers? Or whoever's looking for him? Or whoever.
What?
I'm going to have to go take my blood pressure after this.
I need you to take whatever medication you need to take so that you can calm down. Go take it. I'm going to need you to go take your medicine and then come back. Take your medicine. Take your Ritalin. Take your medicine. Take whatever you got to take. Okay? And we going to come back. Okay? What? Whew. Okay.
Whoops. Hi. I'm sorry. I was talking to you on mute. Okay. I'm trying to work and listen to you, girl. So for that last gentleman that just came on there, you sound ridiculous. How was she trying to take a black man down when this happened 20-something years ago? And if they really knew the law, the other way that they trying to pull her back into this situation is because he didn't do what he was supposed to do. So now she has to relive that painful situation that she went through 20-something years ago. Her children are being affected by this. I feel sorry for the young lady because I listened to the interview with Nosy Ho and the emotion that she had. Like, I'm triggered by this. The emotion that she had, she couldn't have made this up. For it to be so long ago and she still to be as emotional as she was talking to somebody else. Like, it's one thing you can handle yourself when you just giving your story, you just talking to a camera, you just talking to a phone and you don't have the camera on you. So you're able to kind of get your story out. You didn't pace yourself. But then she was interviewing with somebody. You can hear her hurt, her pain, how she's afraid. Like, if somebody is powerful enough, the FBI can't enter. They can't step in and be like, "Hey, these people are looking for you. These people are able to kill you or whatever. If they need to put you in a protection, girl, I can't even get my words out. But in the protection thing or whatever,
right
behind this situation. So I don't understand a lot of these comments. They really just accusing this young lady. This happened 20-something years ago. How in the heck is she going to bring this up out of nowhere and try to keep a black man down for something when they were kids? Like, come on now. It sounds crazy.
All righty. Well, thank you for chiming in.
Okay, bye.
All right. All right, if you guys have not done so already and you have not subscribed to my channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button right now. We're going to continue going. We're going to continue going through callers. I'm going to continue getting input, but I need you to hit the subscribe button right now and also hit the like button right now as well. It's too many of y'all on here and not enough likes. So hit the like button. And, Nita?
Hi, Neek.
Hey.
Wow, I believe her. And for people to try to depict her story of being on the bus stop, how it happened, when it happened, at the end of the day, he was tried, he was convicted, he copped a plea. He has been registering as an SO for 20 plus years, all the way up until he got with a Nicki Minaj. Had he felt he was innocent, he would have disputed those charges. Only up until now, based on her story, is she's now being contacted to recant her story, write a letter so that basically Kenny do not face any charges because he did not register in California, and also so that he would be able to live freely, because we know that Nicki Minaj is a huge celebrity. She moves around. She goes from country to country, city to city, state to state. With this being on him, he cannot move around. He will not be able to be as mobile as Nicki. I believe her 100% because her story has not changed. And for people to come at her because they simply love the celebrity of a Nicki. Nicki chose that man to be her husband, meaning that she chose to take whatever baggage and whatever luggage that came with it. She knew who he was. Now, I don't think that she knew that he had to register for the rest of his life. I think that when he failed to register in California is when she found out that it was a little bit more deeper probably than what she had imagined. Hence is why she reached out to the lady after he had gotten arrested, because I don't think that she knew she was going to have to carry that baggage forever with him. I believe her. I believe her.
All righty. Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right, Nick.
All right. All right, we're gonna listen to some more, and then I'm gonna bring some more of you on. Let me bring one more person on, and then I'm gonna get to the rest of you guys. So don't hang up. Lucrato.
It's Lucrato.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, I, I, I don't know. I'm kind of like on the fence of the side, just like I was on Megan Thee Stallion side either. Kind of like in the middle. I'm like listening like detail of her story, and I would listen to another blogger, and she was like telling the detail of the police report. And one of the things that stick out to me is she said she saw him at the bus stop like before school, and went to talk to him like hey oh, where you going? uh and he said, oh, he better go to school. But like in the original, she said he came up from behind her. So that like one of the things that like stick out to me. And then like who all are at the I'm sure you guys wasn't the only people at the bus stop. You know what I'm saying? Because she said he just ran. She ran downstairs. She just watched him. He just watched him. Didn't try stop her or nothing. That that like kind of like weird to me. Like if someone like holding you, they will usually try to stop you from leaving. So that's like what all I had to say.
All righty, thank you.
Thank you, and you look beautiful today, Nick. Well, you already look beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
You have a good day.
All right, you too. Let's see. Cynthia.
Hi, how are you?
Hey.
One thing that I notice in these comments and all over that people keep victim shaming, and speaking from a woman who, when I was 15, I was dating somebody and he took me and we were sitting together and he had I said, at the time I was a virgin, so he took my leg and he
Mhm.
dragged me down the stairs, and then he took, and I didn't want to have sex with him at the time, but he said he didn't care. He took me and bust through the door and tried to sexually assault me. So with that going to say, like, it could be anybody, it could happen to anybody. So when they're trying to say that she's lying or something, even if you believe she's lying because of Nikki or her husband, it doesn't mean that you have to leave negativity. You understand? Because there's people who are really going through hard things like this, and it's already bad enough in society that women are seen as liars and they can't be trusted. um so when you say that she's lying or get over it, those things, you can't just get over it. I don't care if it was 40 years from now, 50, it still hurts. So I just wish people would stop being so negative and saying that she's lying. If you believe she's lying, okay, but to say like she should get over it, I don't. That's too extreme.
All righty. Well, thank you, Cynthia, and sorry that happened to you.
Thank you.
All right. Barry.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah. First of all, I want to speak on what I don't know if it was a boy that said it. You said you don't know how she got let go. That was my first thing. Like he raped her and then let her go. I'm 27 years old. I was raped when I was 17. I was raped by 2 men and they let me leave. No problem. You understand what I'm saying? So you can't say that. Other people's minds, sometimes they don't think they're going to get caught. They feel like they have power. Oh, that person's not going to be believed. So I could do what I want. And there's some victims that have it happen again because people think they're that bold. Like just because you don't say nothing or you're the quiet type or people just feel like your vibe is different. And I'm here to say that's false. You always should speak up. And like the other girl said, this bashing in the comments because Nikki is Nikki. No, excuse me. First of all, Nick, I love you. I watch you all the time.
Oh,
That's one.
I appreciate it.
And two, I don't care about the people in the comments. That Nikki stand, all that other thing. As a woman, you felt that in your core when that woman told you your man raped her. I don't care standing by your man or not. You felt that. So just to push her and just be like, oh no, they were dating and stuff like that, that's wrong. And the dude was like, people at the bus, first of all, if you can hear the way I talk, I'm from New York City. In the morning, when most of the time we go to school, it'd be late if we get up late or whatever. You don't know her case. So saying that, nobody could have been at the bus stop. You don't know. You wasn't there. So to say she's lying just because she said, oh, he was at the bus stop, maybe she came to the bus stop and then he appeared. At the end of the day, they still were at the bus stop together. I don't know how she got from his house, from the bus stop to his house, but at the end of the day, this woman is giving a vividly story on how what happened to her. And I'm sorry, a lot of women, they say make up stories and stuff like that, but it's certain women that know that have went through what she went through that know when a woman is telling the truth. I heard that lady's hurt. She wants to be left alone. And that's simple. Why does it matter if they asked her, they offered her money, whatever, she didn't take it. So why does that matter? Why doesn't her story matter? Just because it's Nikki and her husband. That shouldn't matter. And for Nikki as a woman, you stand so strong with women, like you say, and queens and stuff like that. It's just stand with a queen. I know your husband was wrong. Speak on that. You can still be with whoever you want. And I feel like she feels like if she says, I'm a woman and I feel sorry for this woman that this happened to her, but that's my husband, everybody's going to be like, oh, you don't love him. Why would you say that? No, it's not that I don't love him. It's at the end of the day, I love him. I'm going to stand beside him. But I'm still going to tell this woman that I understand what happened to her and that's wrong.
All righty. And sorry that happened to you as well. We got the speak out more about these situations because a lot of people aren't aware of how rapid these things are happening because it's not really spoke on that much. But thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, I got a few things. First of all, you got 222,000 subscribers. We should all go play that number so we can go ahead and Cash App Nick some money. Second of all, big dude that had the blood pressure problem, tell him to hit my line because I got some beta blockers and some eyeglass cleaner. He could come see me. Now, I think she went to go smoke a J. That's what I think. I think they went to go do something like maybe they weren't together. Maybe he was a bum, but I think that she went to his house for something specific. Go smoke a morning J, go get a little nickel bag because it's 26 years ago. So they sold the nickel bag. Go get a little nickel bag. And he forced himself on her. I do think something happened, but there are some hoes missing that I feel like she doesn't want to bring forward. And I think the only reason why Nikki rocked with that dude is for protection because she started rocking with dude after that situation where Cardi got the Cardi B knot. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
And she know how affiliated Cardi is. And I think that she needed somebody thorough with her that she felt that she could quote unquote trust in order to hold her down. And she got that dude. But I think he told her a story and she running with it. That was my girl. We did the. She was in a strict home and whatever happened. But yeah, it's just unfortunate all the
So
way
now
around.
that
I
you've
feel so
listened
bad.
to more of her, do you feel like she's telling the truth now that you've heard more context?
I think something happened to her, but I think I feel like something happened to her. I feel like she got in that apartment willingly, but then something happened afterwards. Okay, because I understand Cynthia saying that, whatever, bus stops is, I don't know whether it's a Queens thing, but bus stops in New York, especially in Brooklyn, especially 26 years ago, is packed. Everybody going to get their coffee and bagel with cream cheese. They dropping their kids off at the bus stop. The city buses is coming. Like, it is packed on the street. So maybe it's just a Queens thing where it's not a lot of people on the street in the morning, but still indeed, he didn't drag her by her hair and drag her up the block to their house. That's a fact. Or she would have said that. So I think she went willingly for something. And then when she got into the house, he forced himself on her. But something did happen to that lady, definitely.
All right. Thank you, NY Neek.
Thank you.
All right. Now we got somebody with these shoes that look mighty familiar. These shoes look mighty familiar, but go ahead.
Hello, Nick. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
I'm always watching your live. I've been a subby for years, but this is my first time talking to you. So excuse my little fan moment right now, girl.
It's all good.
Okay, so some of them already do know me from these little shoes. I like to troll the trolls. Yes, I do. But on a serious note, I am from the area this lady is describing.
Okay.
So I don't know if she's telling the truth or not, but as a victim, I'm not about to sit here and bash that woman. She has just a little too many feelings that you can tell as another victim that, you know what I'm saying, that they're triggers and they're hitting for her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as being in Queens, I went to the same high school she went to, John Adams, same thing as Sean Bell. Okay. Now, when it comes down to those areas over there on Rockaway, there's sometimes where they're packed, like the other caller said, and there's sometimes where they're not packed. But Queens dudes, a lot of them have no respect for women. So even if it was a packed bus stop and that lady was screaming bloody murder, they're not going to stop and help her. They're going to sit right there and watch her get assaulted. That's why I left Queens. I'm also a rape victim. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I wasn't supposed to say that. I apologize.
Yeah, just say R.
I was a R victim as well in a police home. So I know what it's like to have people telling you that you are lying when you know what you've been through. There are too many people in this day and age, and I see a lot of some of y'all women doing it too. So I'm addressing y'all as well. At the end of the day, there's too many people sitting up here that want to downgrade and disrespect victims for going through what they went through. Haven't we been through enough? We still have triggers. I'm trying right now to keep my emotions in check because this is hurting. I still have flashbacks. And I am 36. And this happened in my teenage years. And then when I almost got assaulted again in Queens at 25. I broke the guy's jaw and was arrested for it. And had to prove to them how he tried to attack me. That's not okay for a woman to go through. A lot of mental health in these ages and in these families come from these type of situations.
Mm-hmm.
So it's people like these people that choose, and some of y'all bobs that choose to say, oh, she's not telling the truth, and oh, she's not this and she's not that. But if it was your family member, you would be sitting there feeling the same way that I'm feeling and a lot of other people that are victims are feeling. And we're feeling like the community don't give a crap about us. So why should we care about y'all? Why should we go out there running and
That
screaming?
seems like you went through very traumatic experiences. Sorry that you had to ever, experience anything like that.
I mean, yeah, I've been through them and I'm still shaky. But I've gone through my therapy sessions and they told me it's normal for you to feel the way that you feel. So now every time I'm around a police officer, I get lit. Don't touch me. Leave me alone, sir. I know all my rights. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not about to be harassed by y'all, but it's not fair that as a victim, we have to sit here and not only try to defend the fact that we were molested or whatever the situation is, but now we got to defend ourselves to y'all. And I've done EMS for 20 years in New York, Brooklyn and Queens and the Bronx. And I'm telling you right now, I've seen so many people that I've come across that did not care if somebody out in the street died. But as soon as it was their family members or them, they were crying for help. So some of y'all need to realize that. You don't want this to be you. You don't want to be in this situation. You hear my voice right now? That's how Neek can tell I've been through some things. You do not want to be like us. You don't want to have to go through these traumas and these triggers. But what you need to stop doing is defending these people that are doing it. Y'all take more time in defending the accuser and the abuser than you do the victim. Look at K. Michelle. When it finally came out that she was telling the truth, nobody that discredited her said, you know what, we're sorry. Sometimes y'all need to take the time and realize if it was you in that situation, how would you feel? How would you react? But thanks, Nick.
Thank you for coming on. And I feel like it's not discussed as a lot in the Black community, but hopefully you are working through some of those triggers and some of those things with a therapist,
Yeah.
Not when the Black community isn't spoke about often, but we definitely need to, work through some of past childhood, teenage trauma, because it does still affect you as an adult. But thank you so much for coming on.
No problem. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Nick.
And these shoes, girl, these shoes. She is a whole mess for coming on my live with them shoes.
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, what are your thoughts?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, Nick. My thing is, as far as the bus stop, I feel like maybe she did go willingly or because it was so close
right now.
And maybe that's why she did go to school, because if she said she wasn't allowed to go outside, maybe she was willing to skip school. And you know what I'm saying? It turned into something bad. But I believe her, because my thing is, I've never seen her face. I never seen her like clout chasing. It's like, it's 2020. Usually people be going live and doing interviews. She don't seem like that. Like, I know a victim when I hear one. And I just feel like it's messed up that because it's Nikki, it's you're a liar. She just had a baby. Yes, she did just have a baby, but she has children too that are being harassed because she was assaulted when she was a child. So it's like, yes, Nikki just had a baby, but dude, it's his fault, period, point blank. He did time or whatever, he got out, but he should have registered, period, point blank. Like, I don't know, I don't even know why he wouldn't register, because I mean, it was the Barbs who looked up his criminal background, if I'm not wrong, to begin with. Like, when it first came out that he had charges or whatever, he had did time, I believe it was the Barbs that actually looked that stuff up. But now they're mad because the girl is saying like, "Look, I'm tired of being harassed. Just leave me alone. They're bothering my kids. They're trying to make me take 20K to change my story. Like, but what is 20K? Like, and matter of fact, what is any money worth you taking back something that traumatized you as a child, and you know what I'm saying, switching over and changing your story? Like, Nicki should have never commented on the narrative. And it's like, I love Nicki's music, but when it comes to victims of sex crimes, like, I'm biased. I don't care. I'm a woman. And at the end of the day, all the stuff that I done been through and other women, like, it's not fair. It's just
All
not
right.
fair. But that's all I had to say.
All right, thank you for chiming in. And sorry so many of you like went through such traumatic experiences. It's crazy.
Hmm. Thanks, Nick.
All right, thank you. Miss Life.
Hey,
Hey.
all right. So here's my thing. I feel like I'm looking at the comments. I have to be honest. I have not necessarily followed the story like that, just to be honest with you. But because I follow you and your stuff pop up, I'm gonna look at it. This
Mm-hmm.
is my thing. I'm looking at the comments and stuff like that. Everybody keeps talking about, oh, she's lying. But how do y'all know that? Honestly, if this guy was not married to Nicki Minaj, how much would y'all have invested in this story? If y'all randomly met this lady on the street and she told y'all her story, how many of y'all initially would not have believed her? But because he's married to Nicki Minaj, now all of a sudden she's a liar. I feel like in general, people get too invested in celebrities at the end of the day. I am big fans of certain people, granted, but am I going to get so involved to where I'm taking on those same emotions? Like, oh, I just know you lying. Y'all threatening people. I'm pretty sure this lady done got death threats and all of that. I just feel like at some point you gotta step back and understand that people have lives too. And as far as Nicki Minaj stepping up, I definitely understand that she's gonna take up a dude. But at the same time, I feel like you wasn't there, so she was all the way out of pocket for that. You know what I'm saying? Fall back, let him tell you whatever he's going to tell you, because a guilty person is only going to tell you so much. And then one more other point, Neek. Another point is he went to trial. He took a plea. He went to jail. They did not just take her word for what she said happened to her. At the end of the day, they had to investigate. A lot of people say a lot of times they was raped, and you find out something different prior to it even making it to court. So understand, this isn't I'm sorry, this just did not go by her word. It also went by the cops investigating this crime. And if he didn't do it, what did he take a plea for? Like a lot of people have said, he has went and done his time. He did his time. He came out. This is all coming up because of his negligence. He didn't register. And I think, Meek, you hit a point. He didn't register because now he's with Nicki Minaj. He wouldn't be as accessible to move around as she is.
Oh, one of the
So at the
callers
end
had
of the
made that
day,
point.
say it again.
I said one of the callers had made that point.
Oh, well, whoever it was, like, at the end of the day, he wouldn't be accessible. So of course, why wouldn't some? And I don't think if I misread, maybe, but I don't think she said that it was Nicki Minaj and the offer. I think, or even had him to offer, whoever it was offer. I think they were doing it as a favor to say, hey, let this go. But at the end of the day, she could have took that money. She could have took that money, but she didn't. I personally believe this lady is a victim. And I'm so sorry for her pain and everybody who spoke about their pain in life. I am, and I hope that everybody get help and have somebody to talk to. But to go through something and then years later got to go through it in the public and with your kids. Some people go through stuff and never tell their kids. But guess what? They kids got to see the stuff like living out right now, 20 something years later on social media. Like, come on, that's devastating. That's re-hurt and then new hurt. Because now you got to hurt for your kids. People is addressing your kids. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
All right, thank you. Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Hey, I'm well, and you?
I'm good. I just want to make a few points. So when all that stuff about Nikki's brother, I think, like, came out, I did not blame her. Like, even if she wrote a letter, like, you don't know what goes on in a household and how somebody feels. But in 2020, like, I feel like Nikki has collaborated with people with a very bad past or have had abusive histories, and that also added on to, like, sometimes she brings it on herself. And in situations like this, for her fans to go to this victim story and try to find inconsistencies, I feel like that's very, very irresponsible, and it's not fair. If the girl's lying, believe me when I say we it'll be handled accordingly. I'm sure Nikki would know that she's lying or she has evidence or whatnot, but in the meantime, this is her story, and if, as a fan, you guys should not, you guys are kind of making her look bad, and I'm a fan of her, and I also, guys speak on this girl and try to, like, put her story down and find inconsistencies about bus stops and where it was. I absolutely believe this woman, and I have no reason not to, and I believe nobody else has no reason not to. But I feel like Nikki puts herself in certain situations. She went on her radio show and told this girl's story, totally falsely for her man. And sometimes I have to sit back and wonder if this was a man celebrity and he would marry somebody, a girl who wasn't a celebrity, and all her old problems came up, they're going to drop her. So, I feel like that women are always expected to, defend their man and be there for their man. And I've read a lot of comments that say so. And you guys are bringing up Cardi. I don't know why. Cardi's situation. If there's victims, we will definitely believe the victim as well. Absolutely. But in terms of, like, you guys are saying Cardi's fans are spreading it, they're both wrong. When something goes wrong with Nikki, or, that Cardi's fans spread it and vice versa, that needs to stop, because everybody has skeletons in their closet. And, look what happened now. Like, you guys have a whole victim coming out 26 years later with a story that sounds very, very true. And I feel like it's very irresponsible for you guys to put her down. And if Nikki leaves this man, I hope you guys apologize to this woman. She might be wanting to leave this man. She might be in a situation where she can't get out right now. We don't know. But for you guys to go on everybody's platform when this woman is telling her story and telling her that she's lying, it is very irresponsible. And I know that a lot of you are young, but this pain in her voice, everybody who's a victim can relate to. And the way that she remembers vivid details, they'll definitely, understand. So just sit back. If she's lying, believe me, it'll come out. But
All right, thank you,
now,
Lo.
no problem, hun.
All right. My friend just texted me and said, put the sex abuse hotline up here. And being that there are so many victims, let me do just that. So if you are a victim of a crime and you have been violated against, do not wait to speak out. Do not spare the person. Tell on them, get connected with, somebody that can help you. The call number is 1-800-656-HOPE. 1-800-656-HOPE. So that's 1-800-656-4673. And you'll be connected to a trained staff member from a sexual assault service provider in your area. And you will be able to, work through this situation. Being that there are so many people calling in and saying that, they are victims, definitely don't let that go unnoticed. Don't let that just be what it is. Don't let the person who violated you just get away with it. Don't let them just walk away sky free and you out here living with the torment and living with the being traumatized and living with that on your back. So definitely be sure to reach out to somebody, reach out to a counselor. It's not spoke up enough in the Black community about, talking to therapists. Talking to a therapist does not mean you're crazy. Sometimes you have to go through and work through and get help for some of these traumas that happen in your life, because as you try to move forward, it can hinder your relationships that you get into with your partner. It could hinder, how you interact at work. It can hinder you socially. And all of these things are things that, you can help. You can get help to, not saying that you will fully just get over it, but you can get help with dealing with it. So if you are a victim and you have not worked through some of these things, don't let that go scot-free. Contact an organization that can put you in contact with a provider that can help you through this situation.
I want to be clear. I never said that I didn't believe her. I believe her. That's a definite. My only question was, how did she ever get into his house? Like, what was the scenario that brought her into his home? You can go in a person's home willingly and never expect for them to rape you, violate you in no kind of way, and it happens. After hearing everything and hearing the whole story and scenario of what happened, I believe her. I believe that she was assaulted. I believe that whatever happened, it wasn't something that she wanted to happen, period. And the fact that he did the time and he took a plea, from what I understand, he took a plea. I don't know the whole detail of it, but
Go back in there.
yeah, I believe her. I believe her.
All right.
I
Thank
thought about
you.
what the other young lady said. She said, well, maybe they went to have, smoke a joint or something together. And she just didn't want to say that part. But never did she expect for him to attack her. So, yeah, I believe that she was attacked. I believe that he violated her in the most ugliest way that he possibly could have. And the fact that she said, well, he wouldn't let me out the house. That meant that she had been ready to go. And there at some point in time, he said, well, no, you're not leaving. So that means that he forced her to do whatever it was that he wanted her to do. And the fact that whether or not he is Nicki Minaj's husband or any of that does not matter. A rapist is a rapist, no matter who he is, no matter how many millions of dollars he may have.
Our word. Say our word.
It doesn't even matter. If you violate a woman, you are a monster. And that is why he served his time. Now, the idea of them coming back to ask her once he went to jail, well, will you recant your story? And put all of this hurt and pain of 26 years ago back into her atmosphere, back into her mind, and then to go to her children. Now, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. And no matter who you are, Karma is a bitch. And she comes.
You cursing and stuff. You saying the R word and you cursing and all that. Calm down. While I was listening, I Infinity sent in a donation. Thank you for the super chat, I Infinity. I appreciate it. Okay. I Infinity says she just saying whatever she wants. Thank you for the donation, I Infinity. Leela and Lawanda.
Okay, I want to go to the other victims that have been, assaulted. And just, you spoke on something when you pulled up the thing about talking to someone because of how it can hinder your, things later on in life.
Mm-hmm.
I was one of those victims that didn't speak because it was a friend of mine that raped me. I mean, a friend of mine that assaulted me. And I didn't speak on it until after he assaulted someone else, and then he tried to defame that person. So I didn't speak on it. But later on in life, going to the club and having the bouncer, pat me down, triggered all of that. You know what I mean? Triggered the emotion. So it is something you got to speak on. And you can tell the difference in when someone's telling the truth and when they're lying. Because just go back to when R. Kelly thing came out, right? So many women, so many people were saying all them women were lying. But now this woman coming out, you know what I mean? They were all for, or people have went against R. Kelly saying all these women told the truth. But now this woman's coming out and people are saying she's lying just because it's Nicki Minaj's husband. That woman got real life, stuff inside of her. And I deal with it. That's why I only been in 2-3 real relationships in my life, and I'm 44 because of being assaulted at the age of 21.
Yeah, well,
don't trust
you gotta
people.
talk to somebody to help you work through them triggers and help you work through, you know, your
I done got through the triggers now. Like I know how to handle the triggers, but I do need to talk to someone because of the trust issue. You know what I mean? Like me not trusting. Like when I have people over my house, I lock my daughter in a room. Like I don't let, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just weird. Like I
yeah.
have just like a strong, you know,
Well, you
thing
can
that's
never be too now that part do what you gotta do. Yeah, I ain't saying trust mother effers. I ain't saying that. Now still keep your guard up when it comes to these people around your children now. I don't care how
right.
much you think you know them.
It's crazy because
Family or not.
I had family that didn't believe me to actually call me on three-way with the man. And he tried to sit back and say, "No, we just messed around that one time." No, bruh, we did not mess around. You're lying. You know what I mean? Like he really tried
Yeah.
to discredit me. And it's sad how the men try to discredit these women. But all y'all standing up for a person that assaults women, yeah, something's wrong with you. Really. You need to reevaluate yourself.
All right. Thank you, Leela.
Alrighty, bye-bye.
Thank you. All right. Lawanda.
Hi, hey Nick.
Hey.
Hey, I just wanted to say a few things. Like, I'm also a victim of the M word by a family friend and an uncle. And I didn't
Sorry to
tell
hear that.
until that person died.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lifelong thing. You know, I thought that when I was younger in my 20s that I dealt with it, but now in my 40s, I'm having to go through therapy. So it's a lifelong injury, and to have to keep reliving it over and over and over again, that is so unfair to her. I feel like this society doesn't allow children. She was 15, like she
Mm-hmm.
was a child. At the African American community, we need to we need to be more, I don't know what the word is when it comes to children. It doesn't
Empathetic,
matter how she
compassionate.
got in the house. Yeah, like it doesn't matter how she got in the house. Okay, she was in the house, and when she was in the house, she was molested. Like what? I don't understand society. You tell us to come out and say something, but when we do, then we're lying. We're clout chasing. You can't have it both ways. Like we need to be you know, more compassionate towards people that have gone through those situations and they're deciding to speak out. Because even after the person that molested me died, I was still afraid to tell because I thought people wouldn't believe me because he was a family friend. Everybody loves him, and it just felt like nobody would believe me. So
Right.
I think society is really effed up right now. Like this whole situation about how she got in the house, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
All right. Thank you, Lawanda. And sorry that that happened to you. And I'm glad that you are now seeking some type of therapy to get through those triggers, because a lot of people will go throughout their whole life and, you know, they
Mhm.
won't, do that. So kudos to you for working through it.
And I encourage like our community, we need to deal with illnesses and mental illness better. You know,
Mhm.
we need to encourage people that are going through things to go through therapy because in my 20s, when I was winning, I just wanted to prove everybody wrong that I was more than some girl that was molested. So I thought I had dealt with it. But when things came up in my 40s, I was right back to being as hurt as I was when I was 20. So I encourage everybody, if you've gone through this, you got to sit down and talk to somebody. You got to have that help, that assistance.
All right. Thank you so much.
No problem. Bye, Nee.
Bye. Smart Cookie.
Hello, everyone.
Hey,
Hey, chat.
it's you again.
So, yes, it's me again. So, what I wanted to say, I wanted to add is that we also need to teach our girls and our boys, our sons and our daughters, we need to talk to them more about sex. Once they get an appropriate age, 11, 12, that's when other kids are starting to have sex. You know, we need to start having those conversations with them, letting them know, hey, you know, to our daughters, I mentioned this in the chat earlier. We need to let them know boys don't think about sex the same way that you do. It's not romantic to them. It's something that they want to do and they want to do quickly. It's not like what you're seeing on movies. And you know, don't put yourself in a position where you can be alone with one, or like I said earlier, like if it was a bum on on the streets, I probably wouldn't speak to them. And maybe if I was scared of them, but other than that, like, we need to just talk to our kids more. We need to talk to our sons about, hey, if a girl says no, that's what it is. You know, just keep going. Leave. If she says no at any point in time, I don't care if it sounds like a cute no. Oh boy, stop playing. If she say no and you hear no, like, that's her in her mind trying to make up her decision. Do I really want to do this if I don't? So her mind is not solid. So you need to just go on ahead and leave. We need to have more talks with our children and teach them and be honest about how things really work, because I think we're setting them up when we don't tell them. And then as far as the lady, I totally believe the lady. She wouldn't be as detailed and descriptive. And who wants to be dealing with this years later and having their children be harassed and having to move over and over again? There's no reason for us not to believe this lady, whether you love someone or you idolize these people or whatever. You know, I mean, we have to sit back and think as a human being, you know, what would this feel like if this happened to me? What would I want to be done? You know, so I don't understand why people are so upset with this lady for telling her truth, which she didn't want to. She had to. She's forced to, because he didn't do what he was supposed to do. Had he went out to California and reported like he was supposed to, you know, and then if we had people that weren't like Nicki Minaj trying to cover up and make their life look so perfect, you already picked this guy. You want to be with him, stand with him, get him some help. Don't let him, you know, tell you that, hey, otherwise about the story. It happened. It happened. If y'all are moving forward, move forward.
All right. Well, thank you.
That's how I feel about that. Thank you.
All right. Peace. All right. Jackie girl, what's up?
Hi. It is nice to meet you, Nick at Night.
Too.
I did this out of random. Didn't even know I was gonna get on here, but it's good to talk to you. But to piggyback off what the young lady who said before before the girl, she was like the girl with the braids in her hair. She said that she was molested by her family member.
I think you're talking about LaWanda.
Yeah. Okay. Her. I'm piggybacking off what she said. That is so true.
Mm-hmm.
You trust your family members more than you trust anybody. And those are the ones who do you wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They take advantage. They molest you. It don't matter how much a woman or what she does or how she does it in her life. To me, I feel that a man has no reason and no business touching a woman if she don't want to be touched.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. And not only that, I am a victim of rape. So
our word.
Yeah, I understand where everybody coming from, even the young lady.
Say our word. Don't say
our word. The R word. Okay. Yeah, okay. I am a victim of the R word. Put it that way. I am a victim of that. So I know what it's like to be the R word. I know what it's like to wake up at night dreaming. I've had to go through the same exact thing. Therapy, talking to psychiatrists, and the way my situation happened, I ended up getting a beating behind it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I ended up getting a beating behind it. Like it was my fault. I'm only 12. How was it my fault?
Mm-hmm.
I'm 12 years old. How was it my fault? I wasn't that type of girl. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't that type of young lady to be a hot tail, put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But you have these grown men, they don't care. They don't care. And then not only that, I'm not blaming the women, but I think on both ends. But at the same time, it still gives a man no right to put his hands or his ping in somebody when it ain't when it don't belong there. And that's a child.
Mm-hmm.
That's a child. That's not a grown adult. These men rather deal with babies and put their ping in babies instead of dealing with a mature grown woman.
Mm-hmm.
These men have no respect these days. They don't. And some of the women don't have respect for themselves. You got to have respect for yourself as well as you want a man to have respect for you. But at the same time, it still gives a man, when a woman says no, that's what it means. No.
Right. No means no.
No mean no.
Thank you. Thank you for calling. I said thank you for calling in.
Nice talking to you.
All right. Nice talking to you too. Peace out. Janella. Hey, boo.
Hey, how you doing, Nick? Nice to hear from you again. Oh,
Nice to
wow.
hear from you too.
This girl, you did it again. You got another gold nugget on here. What's going on? You and these shows, you bringing it. But here's on a serious tip. This is how I feel. Okay. Now, I'm gonna be the unbiased tonight. Okay. Now on the side for the victims. Okay, because myself was also a victim of the R word and the M word. Okay. I too can relate to the lady that you had on the show. I had to go through it at home growing up. Then I was assaulted by my husband. And this bring up the point about Nikki's excuse. Even the excuse wasn't good enough because you could still charge the person if they were dating you, and you still said no. You could still have them arrested. So Nikki saying making that excuse was just didn't make it didn't make it any better. However, now let me stick to the point. Being a victim, everybody that said the things about therapy and all of that, that is correct. That helps. Okay, and I understand why we need the
One
therapy.
point.
My point is
sorry.
Here it is right here.
Wait.
Go ahead.
One thing about therapy that I do want to also mention is not every therapist will be right for you. So what I want people to know also who is working through some type of trauma, some type of trigger, don't get discouraged if you get to somebody and they're really not helping you that much. Go to somebody else, because everybody is not a match. Just like everybody.
That's true. Make sure you find a suitable. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, everybody isn't like a good match as friends. Everybody isn't a good match as
That's true.
And everybody isn't a good match as therapists either. So I want you guys to know that as well. I forgot to point that out, but make sure that just because you get somebody doesn't mean you like, oh, this person, go to somebody else. But go ahead, Janella. Sorry. I just have to get that out before it slipped my mind. All right. So I want to wrap this video at the 2-hour mark. We have gone way longer than I want to go. So at this point, I'm going to add everybody that's backstage. Now, right at the 2-hour mark, when it reaches 1:59, I'm going to end the broadcast. Even if you guys are talking, I'm going to end the broadcast, okay? So I'm going to add everybody on. Everybody speak one at a time. And we are going to get through it. All right. Let me know what you guys think. One person speak at a time. 2-hour mark, we ended. Got it? And thank you to everybody who sent in a donation. Thank you. I see y'all and I appreciate it.
I had a quick question, Neek. I just wanted to verify, were they the same age? Because in my mind, I really feel like we're not really paying attention. Yeah, one of your callers called and basically said, yeah, it was a grown man, it's a grown man, but this really wasn't that situation. He did do his time, yes, but they were like around the teenagers, and we got to look at the fact that this was a dirty type of crime, but we had to look at the fact that what happened in his past. You know what I'm saying? Like what happened to him for him to even act at a
Effect.
Go ahead, continue. If the next person wants to pick up, go ahead.
I just got a question. I just had like a question about the whole thing, something that didn't make sense. I want to first say I'm not a victim of any type of sexual crimes. I haven't been, but my mother was a victim of it, and my brother was one who was falsely accused. So I kind of I sympathize in a way, but I still have some questions. Mainly being that when you looked at the original court document, it was said that he lured her away by gunpoint. And I noticed that the stories are kind of different in a way, as well as it really doesn't make sense. Like she's being harassed and all this stuff, but I really didn't understand.
Wait,
why,
wait,
because
I'm gonna pause you. Are you on a headset? Because it's clicking in and out, and we can't really hear you that well.
oh,
If you're on a headset, take it out.
I thought I was a robot.
Hello?
okay, can you hear me now?
No, it's clicking very bad.
How about now?
That's better. Go ahead.
Alrighty. The only question that I really had was, like, the story was inconsistent to me, but I do not want to call her no flat out liar because, like I said, I'm not a victim, so I don't have no right, whim, or anything to call nobody out on a liar. But I really didn't understand. She's saying I didn't understand why now. Basically, that's the question I'm asking. Why is this happening right now?
He didn't register.
I wanted to say they were both 16. However, he was a month ahead of her, I believe, a few months older than her. I wanted to thank all of the women who were courageous enough to share their stories about what was happening to them. This is a very silent but huge issue within the Black community. I believe the victim. The first time I heard the story, I didn't hear about that she was held at gunpoint, knife point, that it was a knife, not a gun, and that he put a scar on her face and on her stomach.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Tay.
And so I think people have the right to like question a story. It's called opinion, but that doesn't automatically make them a liar. I mean, make them like victim blaming. But I think people just should not automatically call her a liar. I mean, she has the right to say her story, whether it's true or not. Only her, him, and God know what happened. And Nick, I appreciate you for putting the hotline in the comment because my other sister was awkward when she was 15, about 26-year-old, and at her at her friend house, at her friend house, and you know she's now 26 with 3 kids, and a fiance, but she still have her trigger. And, you know, it bring out her PSD, so she still go through it from time to time. So I just want like thank you for that.
Okay, and thank you for calling in. So basically, you feel like, you know, people do have the right to question her story. If she's coming out to tell it, people have a right to question it. But you also feel as though, what was the last part you said?
But I feel like people shouldn't just automatically call her a liar. I mean, it's her story,
Mm-hmm.
and we wasn't there, so we don't know what happened. That's between her, him, and God. So only them three know the truth. What really happened? We can just automatically call her a liar, and we just can't automatically say she telling the truth. But this is her truth. That's what I'm saying.
All right, you said you feel like we need to wait till the facts come out before anybody says she's telling the truth or lying or whatever.
Yes.
All right, Richie Mills.
Yeah, hello.
Hey.
Yeah, I just was gonna say, like, I didn't see the earlier part of the show where she talked about the story of the bus stop, but I would say, kind of like what he said, you can't say she's a liar or telling the truth. I would just say let's go on the facts. Like, you know, did she get a rape when it happened? Did she automatically go to the police, get a rape kit, and
our kit?
Oh, our kit. I'm sorry. And you know, what was the result of that? And like I understand, like a lot of girls were, you know, are victims, but and they say, you know, they can sympathize with her, but there's a lot of women that just automatically, you know, make false accusations and make civil lawsuits and try to get money and stuff. So you also got to put that in effect. But you know, I would just say, yeah, that pretty much, you know, we gotta look at the facts really.
All right, JJ.
I agree with what Richie was saying. We do have to look at the facts and stuff like that, and in regards to this, but I
I personally believe her, just hearing the hurt in her voice, I definitely believe her. But I also want to keep this in context because a lot of callers are saying, this was a grown man and like this was not the case. They were in the same age group. You know what I'm saying? This doesn't take away or negate by any means, but these were two kids. You know what I'm saying? He can't be held as an adult in regards to like a 25-year-old man or 18, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we have to keep that in context as well because a lot of guys out here, they're not even understanding what the R is and what consequences does the R bring. Like when you had Smart Cookie up and she was trying to explain, in that regard. But that's all I was saying, that we kind of got to look at it like, you know, what he experienced too that caused him to get to that point. And, a lot of people who are, who do are, they usually, some of them are victims themselves. We never really look into asking, what might have happened to him. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, abusers were once victims. They say that all the time for a reason because it's proven to be factual in a lot of cases. But that was my only thing. Is just look at it both ways and stop painting him as he's an adult, because he was not an adult when this happened. He was in the same age bracket, and it was traumatic for her. And she does need therapy. And I appreciate you pointing out that about therapy, choosing the because I did that myself. Actually I ran into a therapist that just didn't fit with me and I just stopped
Yeah, you
going.
gotta get
And
someone that fits you because they're not all gonna be the perfect. They're not all gonna, because some of them don't go have a similar background. They can't relate, so they don't even, give you the right information. So don't stop just because one didn't fit you.
Different backgrounds.
I appreciate you bringing that back up, and I actually spoke to my spirit and I was like, you know what, go back and try this again, because I think we all need therapy to some degree. But when you said that, it triggered me to try it again, because I
Yeah.
wanted a therapist who could, relate to my belief, my Christianity belief. And the one I had, she was a non-believer. So it was hard for me to really connect with her and how she was, working. But yeah, I appreciate that, Neek. Thank you.
All right, DJ.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Go ahead. You got a couple minutes for the broadcast in. Go ahead.
Okay, no problem. I just want to say thank you, Neek. I'm a huge fan of your show. I always love what you do, and I
Thank
am
you. I
an
appreciate it.
all-time watcher and subscriber. And like I said, thank you to all the women who were courageous enough to tell their stories. That takes guts. I hope everybody gets the healing that they deserve and need. I stand by the victim. I do believe her. He has registered. Only time he stopped was when he got with Nick. And the only reason why people are questioning the validity of this is because he's with Nikki, and that's not okay. We need to stop idolizing celebrities. They're people too, and he was wrong.